on today's episode of Beyond the Color Project, we're shaving down Ghost. Come see the transformation and learn a few new tricks. This is Ghost. He was a reindeer at the end of November. So this is, let's see, December, January, February, March, April, it's May. So this is 6 months after being dyed. So after today's groom, he's going to be white again. Instead of having a brown poodle, he's going to be back to white. I wanted to do a demonstration of showing how the color looks once it's grown out on a dog. But also that I am a dog owner in the sense that he's matted in places. It's completely normal to have a dog that is matted in places, and we're just going to take him shorter in those places. But being that it's summertime, aside from getting rid of the color, I'm just going to do a short haircut and prepare for whatever color creative groom I'm going to do on him next. Behind the ears is very much a common place for dogs to get matted. Rather than trying to even attempt to brush this out, it's not fair to him. So I'm just going to take a shorter blade and take this out. It's hair, it's going to grow back, but also, once again, I know I'm a groomer, but I didn't have time to brush him, and I was lazy, and so we'll just start over. Once his haircut is done, more than likely that'll be hidden, but it's just not worth it to try and brush out. It's not fair to him. This is his other ear. Once again, it's just worth it just to shave, because I don't want to put him through the pain of trying to brush out matting. It's not fair. Now, keep in mind, when you have those blades going back and forth on your clipper, the premise is not to catch any skin between those two pieces. So not only am I holding his ear tight, but I'm cutting or trimming or shaving him in a way in which I'm going, I would never shave him this way or this way, because I don't want to catch that end of the ear. So I'm coming out on that end of the ear. Anywhere where there's skin ending, you want to come out from it, not along it. Because if you go along it, that's when you're going to catch it between the blades. He also enjoys being groomed, so he's not even hooked up to the table. He's very excited to come to work with me today, and he ran straight back here and jumped on the table and didn't want to go off. So I'm just going to turn him. Come here, bud. There you go. You're okay. And I'll show you how to do a sani. The same thing as I just showed on the ear is that he has endings in his skin. This is called the tuck-up area. When I'm shaving this, I never want to go this way, this way. I'm only going out because the blades won't catch his skin if I'm going out that way. So I'm going to lift here, and I'm just going to scoop to take out in that sani area. The same thing back here. He has that little pouch from where his testicles were. I'm going to go in and scoop this way so that I don't catch it. From the other side, you're scooping. And now from this side, I'm going to do the same thing on this side as scoop. When you are shaving a dog to alleviate the possibility of any clipper burn, aside from making sure that that clipper doesn't get too hot, your clipper needs to be flat on their skin. This way their skin cannot catch between the blades. If you have your clipper tilted up this way, you're going to catch their skin between those blades and also cutting them. You want to make sure you don't do that. So from here is where I cleaned him out with the clipper going out in that tuck up. Another place you want to make sure you don't cut is here. Typically with small dogs or thinner dogs, because Ghost is very thin, they get a little pocket right here. It's very important to make sure that pocket is flat when you're shaving right above the penis. And if they do have that, you want to go side to side as opposed to going this way, because you're going to catch them if you go up or down. This is that piece of skin I was talking about right here. He's very thin. If I were to shave him this way, I would catch right between the clipper and cut him there. Obviously avoiding that. While he's up, go ahead. While he's up, I'm also just going to shave down his leg a little bit because I know he's matted between his legs too. So that's all going to come off, and I'm going to clean him back up here a little more. I haven't decided what I'm going to do on him yet. I know obviously the brown's going to be gone. I'm going to go short enough that the brown's going to be gone. I'm going to start with a 0 comb, but I really think that it's not going to get through his coat. His coat itself is very dense, so I don't think that it would get through. But also his coat's very wiry on top from the color and just my horrible brushing. Sometimes when you're a little bit more of an experienced groomer, you can eyeball and tell what you're going to wind up doing. I still don't 100% believe that I can do that, and yet sometimes it still happens. So it looks like I'm gonna do either a zero comb, or I'm gonna do the comparison of in a blade. I am personally a groomer that I will always, not always, but mostly choose my blades over using a guard comb, especially when I'm on a dense coat. So I switched to a two blade. A lot of groomers don't have two blades. I like them for this reason exactly. I prefer, once again, on a dense coat, your poodles, your doodles, I just rather use a blade than a guard comb. That's just my personal preference. As I'm shaving right here, when I pull up, I'll get ripples in his skin. So poodles in particular will have ripples in some places, like even here when you're shaving the face. But it's very important that you know where the ripples are and where they're coming from, because when you're shaving them, you're going to be working and you're not going to realize it. Well, if I go down this way on that ripple, it's going to fall between the blade and cut them. That's also how dogs who are matted get cut, because you're pulling on that skin tight, but when you're pulling, you're creating those ripples as well. So it's very important when you are pulling on the skin to flatten it, you're not creating ripples elsewhere. Aside from being white again, I realize how small he actually is. That all that was just hair, and I wish that I would lose weight that easily as well. Armpits are another place that mats very easily, behind the ear, armpits. When you pull that armpit up, you have to be careful of this flab. So as I'm shaving, I'm going out this way. I'm never going this way, never going this way, because I want to take out that matting without cutting him. This is on his leg, so I can turn the clipper a little bit on his leg, but in that armpit, I'm going to pull his armpit out, and then I'll also push his armpit in, because from underneath it'll pucker on the bottom, and I just have to make sure I'm following that same motion outward. This is a good angle to also see the difference of that flab here. You can see where it changes color. That's where his skin ends. So I'm going outward that way so that I don't grab that skin that's in the backside. And then I'm pushing in and just catch him right there. What I'm doing on Ghost right now is referred to as a rough cut. I'm taking everything off of him, and then I'm going to go back and clean it up, because I just want to get all the extra hair off and out of the way for now. I'll worry about making it look pretty later. I left his head, and I'm going to leave his ears a little bit longer, just so it won't look like a crew cut. When you're doing an ear, if you're running a clipper on it, once again, making sure you have that ear flat on your hands and you're turning out. So you're coming down this way. When I get to the bottom, I'm coming down this way, and now I'm going to turn the clipper and go this way, because once again, you don't want that ear to fall between the clipper. Right, Jess? When you're cutting an ear with shears, you never cut down into the ear either this way or this way, because they have the flap of skin that connects to their head, and you might never know or can't see where it starts. So whenever you're cutting an ear, you need to be trimming outward, always outward. Even here, you're going to come down and trim outward. And I trimmed a little bit at a time, because I also don't want to catch this flap. You have to consider that when you're cutting with your shears, you're cutting with this to this. So you have to watch at all times. If you're looking here, you also need to be looking here, because you can cut a dog at the end if you're not watching. But I'm going to hold this ear out and trim all that off. And I'm looking for what's called the leather. I'm looking for what's called the leather of the skin. That's where his skin actually ends. I have my finger on it, so now I know exactly where it ends and where I can't cut. And we're just doing this rough cut for now, just to get rid of the hair. Hi, bud. Now that I've done a rough cut on Ghost just to get rid of all the hair, I'm going to go back, clean him up, touch everything up, and really perfect his groom so that he doesn't look so patchy. All right, bud.